I stepped back, and with the native, we put the stone slab back. I nodded to show I understood how to kill Bojin and Luo Jiqian. As we walked down the hill, I purposely patted the bamboo tube at his waist. He quickly moved it to his other side. I thought these islanders might be clever. They wanted me to fight Bojin and Luo Jiqian but didn't want to share the white liquid. Annoyed, I tapped his shoulder. When he turned, I raised my gun, pointed at his tube, then threw the gun to the ground. My message was clear: no immortality drug, no help against Bojin and Luo Jiqian. He looked upset, his face showing deep worry. I stood with my hands on my hips waiting, quietly cursing his delay. It should have been simple: give me the drug, and I would stop pushing. But he clearly didn't plan to. Worried he didn't understand, I pointed at his tube again. He gave a sad smile, pointed at it, pretended to drink, then stretched out his arms, staring straight ahead, standing stiffly. He had made this gesture before, and I still didn't understand it. I had thought about it. What did it mean? Even now, I was clueless. But this time, it made one thing clear: why he refused to let me drink the drug. Was he saying it would kill me? That lie was childish and only made me angrier. I pointed firmly at the tube. He spun in circles, sweat appearing on his dark face. I thought I was close to winning, but I couldn't understand why he was so panicked. The island's white liquid was endless, as common as the seawater around us. Why was he so stingy, refusing to share? And clearly, he had told the others not to give me any either. That was another reason for my anger. I stood firm. Suddenly, he crouched, mumbling words I couldn't understand and drawing in the dirt. He drew a man drinking from a bamboo tube, then erased the tube, showing the man no longer drinking the drug. Next, he drew the man lying on the ground. The drawings matched his earlier gestures, carrying the same annoying message: drinking the drug would kill me. I glared, shaking my head. No room to discuss. A sudden understanding hit me like lightning. I remembered the first time I entered Bojin's mansion and found that big room full of natives. Those natives, clearly from the same group as Han Tongjia's islanders, had looked lifeless, frozen in the same positions for a long time like idiots. Now, the native sitting stiffly on the ground looked just like them. This made me think about his gestures again. I studied his 3 drawings: a man drinking the immortality drug, then standing alone, then lying motionless. To show this, he had even lain down himself. He was trying to tell me something very important. What was it? Then I understood. It wasn't that drinking the drug caused this, it was stopping it that did. This small detail was hard to grasp, but now I understood. Long-term use of the immortality drug gave eternal life, but if you stopped for how long? I didn't know. You would become an idiot. You would live, but your brain would be ruined. I had seen it in Bojin's mansion. Those natives who had stopped taking the drug were like living corpses. This also showed why Bojin and Luo Jiqian feared me. Their plan to sell the immortality drug needed continuous use. Stop, and you would become a mindless shell. That's why the native refused to let me drink it. Unless I stayed on this island forever, I couldn't get a steady supply. For someone from the civilized world, living here forever was unthinkable. What's the point of eternal life in such a lonely place? I realized the time without the drug must be short, maybe a few dozen hours. Luo Jiqian claimed he had spent years away from the island, but that was likely a lie, just like his silence about their submarine. Among his belongings after his supposed murder was a large bamboo tube unknown to others, but clearly for the drug. He had never stopped drinking it. Even if he didn't fear the electric chair, he had to escape death row. His drug supply was running out. In moments, I understood everything, and my heart felt clear. I helped my friend up, making the respectful gesture of the islanders. He smiled widely, knowing I had finally understood. Guilt washed over me. I had thought he was selfish and clever, but he was kind, protecting me all along. I grabbed the gun and followed him down the hill to their village. Many natives still sat in the open area. My friend walked among them, speaking loudly. Only then did I see he was their leader, their chief. His 20-minute speech was impossible for me to understand, but he kept pointing at me. When he finished, the natives turned and bowed to me. The sudden honor made me confused, unsure how to react. Then, from the beach, a very loud burst of gunfire rang out. The 7 or 8 shots echoed endlessly off the island's rocks, sounding even stronger. I froze. My friend shouted, pulling me to a huge bamboo stalk, urging me to hide inside. The stalk was thick enough to hide me. I realized the shots must be from Bojin or Luo Jiqian. They had arrived. They wouldn't expect me here. Hiding gave me an advantage. I climbed into the stalk, standing still. The natives sat, drums beating steadily, as many carried out large sealed bamboo tubes filled with the immortality drug. Half an hour later, another burst of gunfire sounded, much closer. I cautiously peeked out and saw Luo Zhiqian and Bojin. Despite his large size, Bojin moved quickly. Both held guns, but as the natives bowed to them, they smiled in a mean way, lowering their weapons. Their machine guns hung at their sides. My friend had hidden too. Two natives came closer, and Luo Zhiqian spoke to them in their language, the two listening respectfully. I faced a difficult choice. If I attacked suddenly, a single shot could go through their hearts, but I didn't want to do that. At least, I wanted to take Luo Zhiqian alive. Killing him would leave me no way to return. How could I prove I was innocent? My only chance was to bring him back as proof, but forcing him to drop his weapon was tricky. Even though I was hidden in the bamboo, he didn't know I was there. Still, I had to hit his heart to kill him. Luo Zhiqian had no fear of me. If I called out, he would turn and shoot at my hiding spot, and I would be in great danger. Unlike him, a shot anywhere could kill me, while I had to aim exactly at his heart. If it was just Luo Zhiqian, I might manage, but with Bojin too, I couldn't shoot both their hearts at once. So I stayed hidden, waiting for a good plan before acting without thinking. Luo Zhiqian was shouting, acting like he owned the island. The natives' faces showed clear anger, but they didn't dare speak. I sighed quietly at the sight. Luo Zhiqian had no right to rule here. The natives, all on the immortality drug, could only die from a heart shot. If they fought back, sacrificing one or two could easily stop him. But my friend had shown me the dead native likely killed by Luo Zhiqian in front of all of them. These islanders who didn't know about death must have been terrified seeing someone suddenly still, silent, and stiff. In their fear, they didn't think to fight back. It was easy for him to control them. I sighed again. By killing one person, Luo Zhiqian had scared the whole island. He was cunning. Then a thought came to me. If he could control them by killing one, could I do the same to make him give up? I wouldn't kill a native, but I could kill someone who deserved it. That someone was Bojin. I slowly raised my gun. Bojin stood beside Luo Zhiqian, his back to me, about 20 steps away. Hitting his heart would be easy, but I held back, thinking about Luo Zhiqian's reaction. He would probably turn and shoot at my hiding spot. What then? I didn't think long before I understood. I had to act. Several natives were looking at my hiding spot, which would surely draw Luo Zhiqian's attention. If he saw me first, I was finished. I aimed at Bojin's back. Shooting from behind was unfair, but I told myself it was okay. Bojin and Luo Zhiqian were terrible people. A bad trick wasn't too much. With that thought, I made myself firm and pulled the trigger. Bang! The shot shook everyone. The natives jumped up. Bojin turned faster than Luo Zhiqian. A deep hole appeared in his chest, but no blood came out. His face twisted into a strange expression, neither crying nor smiling. His mouth opened wide, and his body fell in slow motion, like a movie scene. Before he hit the ground, Luo Zhiqian spun around, as I had predicted, raising his gun to shoot at my hiding spot. But as he did, I fired again. Bang! My second shot hit his gun, shaking his hands. It fell, broken and useless. Luo Zhiqian reacted fast, stepping back to grab Bojin's gun. But I pushed the bamboo and leaped out. His face turned paler than a dead body's. He must have thought I died on Timor Island. My appearance was a shock he never imagined. My gun aimed at his heart. With Bojin dead, he knew I had found the secret to killing him. He froze, hands raised. For the first time since his trick, my strong anger found release. I let out a cold laugh, cruel in his ears, as his body trembled. Got anything to say? I asked coldly. His voice shook. You're not going to kill me, are you? Not here on this island. I didn't plan to kill him, but I let him sweat. I stayed silent. He begged, Bojin's dead. You and I are the only ones who know the immortality drug's secret. We can make a fortune together. I laughed. Luo, your mind isn't clear. If I want riches, I'll do it alone. Why share with you? Despair covered him, his face twitching. He looked ready to fight. I had to control him first. As I thought about signaling the natives to tie him up, my friend appeared. Many natives rushed forward, and in less than 2 minutes, Luo Zhiqian was tightly tied with strong vines. I let out a sigh of relief, lowered my gun, and went to Luo Zhiqian. He shouted, "You can't leave me here. You can't let these natives punish me. You have to take me with you." I nodded. "Indeed, I'll take you straight back to death row." To my surprise, he nodded eagerly. "Fine, fine, but you have to keep giving me the immortality drug." I laughed. Having completely defeated this clever enemy, my satisfaction was amazing. I sneered, "Of course, until I hand you back to death row. I don't want you turning into a mindless zombie." Luo Zhiqian became silent, as if hit hard. I continued, "But once you're back in that cell, I doubt your sister-in-law will send you any more drug. Losing your mind before you die, isn't that a nice touch? Knowing when you'll die isn't exactly pleasant," he replied weakly. You know everything." I laughed loudly. "Of course I do. Come on, time to go." I turned to my friend, making gestures to show I needed him to provide a canoe to take Luo Zhiqian and me off the island. He understood but only glared at Luo Zhiqian, not responding. Luo Zhiqian, under his stare, yelled frantically, "Wesley, you can't agree to leave me here." I said purposely, "Leave you here? That's not so bad. You'd get endless immortality drug and live forever. These natives are immortal, they don't have the death penalty." He gasped, No, I'd rather go with you, back to the civilized world." I replied coldly, "This place is civilized and peaceful. I bet it only became chaotic after you arrived. I won't stop them from punishing you. Once they're done, I'll take you back. Don't play with me." He said, "I'd rather face execution. Why keep bothering me?" I couldn't understand his fear. He had said he felt no pain, so what was he afraid of? What punishment could the natives have? I stepped closer and asked. Sweat dripped from his forehead. "Don't ask, please, don't ask," I snapped. "No, I'm asking this and more. Unless you answer everything, I'll leave you here." He gave in instantly, breathing heavily. On this island, there's a cave with a pool. In it lives a very fierce kind of piranha. They dip my legs in that pool." I sneered. "So what? You don't feel pain, and your muscles heal fast." He gave a sad smile. "True, I don't feel pain, but watching my legs turn to bones over and over." "No, you can't leave me here." I shivered, a cold feeling going through me. Such a punishment belonged in old stories, yet it was real. Unbearable. I turned to my friend, strongly asking again that he provide a canoe to leave with Luo Zhiqian. This time, he nodded but walked over and spat fiercely in Luo Zhiqian's face before shouting and gesturing. He seemed angry with me for insisting on taking him, ignoring me for a short time. But his anger didn't last. He soon began gesturing to me again. 2 natives carried Luo Zhiqian, and I followed my friend to the beach, where many canoes waited. He got into a large one with wing-like supports for stability. Even with those, I remembered the huge waves I had faced coming here, and my heart felt sad. Before getting in, I didn't forget to ask my friend for a bamboo tube of the immortality drug. The tube, like Luo Zhiqian, was tied to the canoe. I wasn't planning to make money from it, I needed it to keep him clear-headed. A Luo Zhiqian who had lost his mind would only make things harder. I had planned my next steps. Leaving the island, the sea journey wouldn't be long. Once rescued, my first act would be to contact Bai Su, hiding at Old Man Huang's, and tell her I was coming back. Everything could return to how it was. Living that life hadn't felt special, but losing it and getting it back made it precious, a treasure beyond measure.